Okay, from previous videos, we know what is client and what is server. So what is client? Client is nothing but a device which requests for a response. And what is server? It is also a device in a network where which responds to the request. Okay, so I know what is client and I know what is server. So in this video, let us see what are the different types of client server architectures. What are the different types of client server architectures? These client server architectures are classified into mainly three types. What are they, sir? What are they? They are one tier architecture, one tier, two tier, and three tier architecture. So one tier architecture, two tier architecture, and three tier architecture. These client server architectures are mainly classified into these three types. So, sir, can you explain me those three architectures with a example for detailed understanding? Yeah, we will see what is this one tier architecture and what is the two tier architecture and what is the three tier architecture as well. Let us see what is one tier architecture is. One tier architecture. Okay, to tell this, in this one tier architecture, how many layers are there, sir? In this one tier architecture, only one layer, sir. How many layers? Only one layer. So that's why it is called a single tier architecture. A single tier architecture. Sir, can you explain me this with an example? Yeah, of course. Let us say Sai is a developer. He develops a code and hosts his application on his own laptop. Let us say this is his laptop. Let us say this is his laptop. In this laptop, in this laptop, he host, he host, he developed his application and he host his application in this server or else in this laptop. He just hosted his application. Okay. Now he hosted. Now Sai hosted that application in his laptop, in his server. So can I call this? Can I call this? Since he hosted locally, can I call this as local host? Yeah, we can call it as local host because Sai hosted in his own local server, or else you can say in his own laptop. Okay, we can call it as local host. Okay. Sir, can Sai request this application? Yeah. Sai can able to request this application and he even got response. He even got response from this application. So he who Sai, whoever hosted can have ability to request some service to that application and got some response from that application as well. So now you can tell me, so request goes from which laptop? His laptop only, right? So his laptop acts as client. Whenever he is sending request, how his laptop acts as? So his laptop acts as client whenever he sends the request. So whenever his laptop only, right, responding, which responding to the which responding to the request, his laptop only, because his application was hosted in his laptop only. So that's why his laptop only providing the response, right? So That laptop, we can even call it as server. So you can observe the single laptop acts as both client as well as server. So in this, how it was acting, a single laptop acts as client as well as server. Since a single device which acts as both client as well as server, we call this as single tier architecture, one tier architecture. So now let me ask you a question. If if any user, any user who tries to request, let's say there is a client, or else you can say, yeah, this is a client. Let's say this is a client. He tries, he want, he want, he want the response from the machine. What I got hosted from that, the client want the response. Is there any way to connect? No, right? There is no connection between them. These two devices do not have network connectivity. And even Sai hosted the application in his local host, not globally. He is hosted in his local machine. So since the application is in local host, the client outside, the client outside was not able to access this application. Now you can tell me, is this application useful for production? Is this application useful for business environment? No, right? Okay. Now you can tell me, in which cases I use this application. In which cases I use single tier architecture for developing, for developing purpose. For developing purpose, can I use this single tier architecture? Yeah. For small scale applications, while developing certain code, this single tier architecture is sufficient. For testing also, for testing of simple applications, the single tier architecture is efficient to me, sufficient to me. Now coming to production or else business development, is this is this suitable for single tier architecture is suitable? No, because client is unable to access my application. So this is not suitable. This is not suitable for my production environment. So I hope you got a knowledge on single tier architecture. Only the same server acts as both the client as well as server. The same system, the same host acts as both client as well as server. This is called single tier architecture. It has how many layers, sir? Only single layer, that is application layer. That's it. So I hope you understood what is single tier architecture, and you know what is client and server from the previous videos. So let us see two tier and three tier in the future videos. So I hope this video is understanding to you. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. See you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye.